from the Latin for swift robber, sometimes swift seizer, or sometimes fast stealer, all kinds of different words, but it's all the same thing. It's a genus of the dromaeosaur theropod dinosaur, which is a yay-high dinosaur species-ish thing. They lived 71 to 75 million years ago in the late Cretaceous. And contrary to its representation in popular culture, as we just saw, the Velociraptor was feathered with feathers, as you can see by the feathers. So, yes. Also contrary to popular belief, Velociraptors are not extinct. They are sentient, cold-blooded killers and have perpetuated the myth of their extinction on their own. This makes it easier for them to hunt humans without detection because most humans don't know that they're alive. And the Council for Velociraptor Safety has not held a living member for more than 3 weeks due to Velociraptor attacks in order to take out the leaders of the Center for Velociraptor Prevention? Yeah, sure. So don't be fooled by these pseudoscientists telling you that Velociraptors are extinct. They have overcome this time gap and are more resilient than they seem. So Velociraptors are about 6.8 feet long and 1.6 feet tall at their hip, which is much smaller than they were shown to be in Jurassic Park. But they can stretch up to about 6 to 8 feet high if they really, stretch. And each foot has a 2.6-inch retractable claw on it that they use for hunting and for ripping out your entrails. And they can accelerate at 4 meters per second squared. Additionally, they have a top speed of 25 meters per second on open ground, 10 meters per second while wounded, and 10 meters per second while in a laboratory. And for comparison, Usain Bolt, when he broke the world record, maxed out at 12.4 meters per second. So a wounded Velociraptor in a laboratory can probably run faster than you, unfortunately. They can open initial doors when the Velociraptor first finds a door in about 5 minutes, and then that time gets halved in an exponential decay function for each subsequent door. They can also jump about 30 feet, as I said, stretched to 8 feet high, and they're very smart, so they can hunt in packs. Yes, Aaron, you have a question?
So, Ryan,
yes.
If they can open it for half the time for each subsequent door,
yes.
Is there a point where doors become irrelevant?
Yes. When they get to about the point where they can open a door as fast as a human, you're done for.
But they can go faster?
Yeah. So, if you ever find yourself wondering, is that a Velociraptor? Ask yourself a few questions. Is it the size of about a Great Dane? Does it have a large claw on each foot? Does it have sharp teeth? Does it have feathers? Can it smell your fear? Are you terrified? Have you soiled yourself? Is it sneakily dragging your friends into the bushes? Is it flying through the air straight at your face? Is it tearing out your entrails? If you answer yes to any of these questions, chances are it's a Velociraptor. So, now that we've identified Velociraptors, how to prepare yourself for them. The first thing is choosing your shelter. And these are all, or most, points recommended by the American Society for Velociraptor Attack Prevention. So first of all, your doors should be solid oak or steel, although, as we proved, they become irrelevant after a little while. But making sure it can't just bust through them is probably a good idea. They should all have quality steel deadbolts, which make it much harder for the Velociraptor to break through. All windows should have steel bars spaced smaller than a Velociraptor's head so that you don't get the unfortunate consequence of being safe in your home and then getting your head bit off by a Velociraptor. And weapons such as rifles and tire irons should be placed throughout your house, so you should never be more than 20 feet away from a weapon. That's the word. And you should also interview your neighbors before buying your house. A good neighbor for Velociraptor attack prevention would be considered paleontologists, soldiers, certified Velociraptor hunters, and Batman. He qualifies for all three of those, actually. And so here's a small sketch about choosing your home for Velociraptor safety. So high windows with bars as the bathroom are secure. Your outer door made of solid oak or steel is very secure, but picture windows are the worst idea you could ever have, literally. Because they can just jump through. It's their favorite thing to do, as we saw in Jurassic Park, jumping through windows. So, proper clothing. Tight clothing is very important. As you can see, I have worn my mostly tight shirt today, so that when the Velociraptor chases me, I don't get snagged on the brushes rushing by, because we're in the jungle right now. And cargo pants are also important. Shorts are usually a bad idea, but sometimes it's hot in the jungle, so you have to sacrifice. And you can carry all kinds of things you need for survival, like a cell phone for calling for safety. Also, a paracord bracelet, as I have here, is important for Velociraptor safety because you can tie up supplies, you can use it as a tourniquet, binding wounds. Setting trip lines for velociraptors is also important because they trip. And for strangling velociraptors if you ever get in a very unfortunate situation. So how do you arm yourself? As Dr. whatever his name was proved, velociraptors are the ancestors of birds and are therefore very similar to birds. And we know today that birds are repelled by methyl and thranolate, which is found in many of the less sweet fruit varieties like Concord grapes. And so therefore you should always have a super soaker of Concord grape juice on your person, just in case. Tire irons are also very effective weapons against velociraptors. And elephant rifles are good for long-range attacks, although you should avoid them because the sound will attract other velociraptors. So what do you do if attack? As we also saw in the one scene, velociraptors will attack one coming at your face, distracting you. But then its friends will come up from the sides and take you out while the one is distracting you. So, if you do find that there is a velociraptor approaching you, you should spray it with your Concord grape juice super soaker, and then run the other way as the other ones come towards you. So then you're going to try to get up in a tree and spray the other ones. And you should only use your gun as a last resort because, as I said, the sound will attract the other velociraptors. So if you end up fighting a velociraptor by yourself, hand to claw, you should try to use your knife that you have in your cargo pants to slice the raptor's tendons along its legs. Therefore, it cannot use its claws to gouge you out, and it cannot also jump after you. So in conclusion, velociraptors are faster than you, they can jump farther than you, they have bigger claws than you, sharper teeth than you, they can break into homes better than you, and your only chance is to be prepared so that you can avoid confrontation, because generally you will die if you confront a velociraptor. So, stick together, form teams. That's the only way you're going to succeed. And if it really comes down to it, teamwork does include sacrifice. Thank you.
Very important point.
What?
You didn't do enough research.